Attack of the Show.
Welcome to Attack of the Show. I'm Horatio Sam.
And I am Candace Bailey.
From Shark Tank, Fancy Pants mogul Robert Herjavec will be here.
And it's Halloween season. You're bound to be overloaded with scary movies and TV shows, but we will help you pick the best of the bunch. Speaking of Halloween, are you doing anything?
Yeah, I think I might have a party.
Well, are you going to dress up?
Yeah, I'm going to
You're
dress up
having a
as
party?
Jabba the Hutt. And that way I won't have to move and people just keep bringing me things.
I love it. That's a great idea.
Right? That's good.
I love
How about
it.
you? What are you doing?
I'm going to my brother's Halloween party, and I'm not positive yet what I'm going to be, but I'm thinking that I'm going to go with a Hooters girl. I wanted to be this last year. My main reason for wanting to be this is the nylons that they wear. They're really like shiny nylons, and the white like 90s socks with the sneakers.
Yeah.
I'm going to go out and get the whole get up, I think, and obviously put a little extra in there.
Sure.
Clearly. It's going to be fun, though.
Yeah.
You can come if you want.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Time now to run down the top things on the web.
We're going round the net.
Yay!
So, videos, right?
What'd you say?
I said, so videos, am I right?
You are in fact right, Horatio. First up today, we have a reminder that being physically fit never pays off.
And the score is a 6.8 at the Douchebag Olympics.
You know, that move that he just did right there is how you get a bad neck back. And possibly a tail. Trust me, I would know. Next up, a 1980s potato chip commercial from Australia.
That sounds relatively normal.
You don't remember the 80s, do you?
No, not much.
Yeah.
What is it about Smith's crinkle-cut potato crisps that make them so irresistible to gobbledocs? The taste. The delicious, tantalizing, real potato taste. Smith's crinkle-cut, the only chippies with real potato taste. Ask any gobbledoc.
Hey, Danny Bonaducci's back.
Yay!
I guess in Australia, it's Alf, not the dad, who smoked crack and hung out with a prostitute.
I just love this commercial so much. I love everything about it, but it's so weird to me that she keeps the chip to her mouth for like 5 minutes. Like, what is she doing? With her mouth open? What is she doing?
She's probably thinking, what am I doing with my life?
Probably so. And then when the gobbledoc is like right behind her, how do you not notice a big gobbledoc just like lurking on you? They don't notice it. Anyways, I don't know why I'm trying to make sense of this commercial, but I am. And now a mashup literally decades in the making. You might remember the 1961 musical West Side Story, but you probably don't remember it like this.
Wait. Why does the Puerto Rican guy got to be a Sith? Look, it's not the size of your saber. It's how you wield it. What I'm saying is, Amber Tamblin's dad has a small penis. That was him.
That was him. I didn't know that before. Now, I know yesterday we shared a love over tiny things. But I would like to retract that statement. Lightsabers, mini lightsabers, it doesn't work. Size does matter. And with that, Around the Net is done. Now, Horatio, how do you feel about adventures on the high seas?
I like them.
And flying cars?
Love them.
And Halle Berry in a wide variety of outfits?
It's all right.
Well, here's a movie that's got all of that.
Ever feel like your decisions are inconsequential? That couldn't be further from the truth. Spanning across half a dozen time periods, Cloud Atlas examines how everyday decisions have ramifications that can echo through eternity.
Yesterday, I believed I would never have done what I did today.
So let's get the awkward stuff out of the way first. You guys worked really hard, played a bunch of different characters. Did you get paid per role?
Good question. Did you?
Nope.
I'm going to tell you right now, I made $12 an hour, and I said, okay, I want to pay $2 per roll. So I got quite a bump.
We have the same age.
I think we do. Yeah, how about that? The guy's taking $9 out of it.
It's a man's world. Because I'm a woman. He got paid.
Well, there was yeah, but you only work one time a day. I just met her, and yet I have fallen in love with Louisa Ray.
One of the main metaphors in the film is that everything we do is connected in some way. Do you guys think that that's true in real life?
Absolutely.
Yeah, totally.
Absolutely.
Everything you do in your life has an effect on someone, and certainly would have an effect on yourself, the choices you make. And
You may not always be aware of how it plays out, but it definitely, I totally believe.
And also the things you don't choose to do, the things you choose to accept, they have a massive effect on everyone.
I was affected by making this movie. I don't think I'll be the same sort of actor or even the same kind of dad or husband or pal after all this, because, your individual decisions do speak volumes about who you are and what is important to you.
The nature of our immortal lives.
Like me?
As you guys were reading the script, how daunting was it seeing all the different characters that you would play throughout the film?
It's more exciting than daunting. As actors, you always feel like I could play any role. And then to actually be told that you will be playing more than one in the same film is, initially, you think, wow, what an opportunity.
And there was definitely a lot asked of you guys. You had to also learn a whole new dialect. How difficult was that in the future timeline?
We started about a few months before we started shooting. And it was just a matter of, just keep practicing at it and then learn the language.
I feel like I was going to ask you guys to teach it to me, but I'm like, it sounds like it's way too hard. Can you teach me like one line?
Just think owe you a kowtow.
Think I owe you a kowtow for vading your space.
That's
the true truth.
Yeah, that's true.
I can say that's the true
You'd have to go like this.
Yeah.
I think I'm owning you a kowtow for invading your space, and that's the true truth.
I don't know what's happening right now.
That's it. That's what. Did you get that? Did you get the space invading shot? Love that.
I think that like every guy watching this is like, can I please be together?
Yeah,
right
let
now?
me do that. Let me do that.
That's the true.
Yeah.
Yes, I did
Hey,
it.
that's the true truth.
No blade can protect you from the true truth.
Since the smallest decision bears the largest of consequences, choose to see Cloud Atlas. Your descendants might just be glad you did.
Yeah. Thank you, Tiffany. Now, here's what's happening in the world today. Are you, like all humans, concerned about aging? Yeah, you're terrified finding a wrinkle on your face because it reminds you of your own impending death? Yeah. Well, guys, come on, stop worrying, because A, worrying gives you wrinkles, and B, science has the answer. It's something that's cheap, easy, and most of all, fun. Drink the blood of children. Scientists at Stanford University found that when older lab mice were injected with blood plasma from younger mice, the cells in their brains formed 20% more connections. This let them perform better in water mazes and presumably drove them to have sex with each other like those perverts on True Blood. Little vampire mice. That's cute. But seriously, the scientists want to remind you that they're trying to develop drugs for conditions like Alzheimer's. But we're aging as we speak. We don't have time to wait for some government bureaucrat to tell us what is and isn't ethical. I need baby blood. now. The good news is we're in luck. Right around the corner, we've got the perfect chance to snatch all the children we want without even... Yes, I said we can snatch all the children we want without even leaving our houses. So kids, this Halloween, be sure to drop by my special spooky haunted house. It's Horatio's spooky Halloween bloodmobile. Ooh. Just remember, eat before you come by, be under 10 years old, and if you've had a tattoo in the past year, keep walking, kid. Hey, you guys remember the days when you disciplined your children by either beating them with a wooden spoon or forcing them to eat soap? Yeah. Well, sadly, that time has passed. Now, if you take the tough love approach, all your kids have to do is make one little call to child services on that cell phone you bought them, you know, for emergencies only, and it's jail time for Bonzo. And just in case you don't get it, you are Bonzo, the stupid chimp who gave his child a cell phone, then hit him with a spoon. Nope, these days you gotta spare the rod, but that doesn't mean you're not allowed to punish your children. You can still use guilt. Sometimes uncontrolled screaming works. Or you can do what a couple in Wisconsin did and adapt to the times. You see, when their daughter got fresh with them, which I assume either means sassed back or sealed herself up in a Ziploc baggie, Mom and Dad confiscated the cell phone they gave her, then took ridiculous photos of themselves with it and posted them on her Facebook page. I feel a great disturbance in the Facebook, as if millions of voices suddenly cried out in terror and unfriended a teenage girl. Now, the best part is, when you ruin Facebook for your children, all they have left is LinkedIn. LinkedIn blows. By the way, everyone who knows me, please stop inviting me to LinkedIn. I got like 50 emails a week. And finally, this week, 7 prominent Italian earthquake experts were found guilty of a crime. And no, it wasn't some kick-ass scientist kegger that got out of hand. It was the crime of not being able to predict earthquakes. Now, yeah, right, I know what you're saying. Wait, Horatio, you can't predict earthquakes. And you're right. That's exactly what the 7 scientists said to calm people down after a local quack said he knew the big one was coming. But unfortunately for the scientists, a giant quake did hit the next day, killing more than 300 people. So now, the court found the 7 guilty of manslaughter and sentenced them to 6 years in prison. Of course, we probably shouldn't be surprised. This is the same land that threatened Galileo with jail for saying that the Earth orbited the sun. Except that happened 400 years ago. Way before the judges could just Google, "Can I predict an earthquake?" and immediately find out that the answer is, "No, you idiot. Didn't you pay attention in 5th grade?" Man. So, if you're keeping score, Italy is locking up scientists for not doing the impossible and won't prosecute the mafia, which they say doesn't exist anymore. And as proof of that the mafia is gone, nobody shot me yet. Oh, breaking news! I've been shot!
Pussy. Speaking of shotguns, Zach Anner will join us to talk about his new show, Riding Shotguns. Stick around.
Welcome back. Now, normally the last thing you want is to be subject to the whims of the Reddit community. But Zach Anner is a brave, brave man.
It's July 30th, and today's the day we set off on a 6-week road trip across the continent. We asked the internet to send us on a journey. They chose 25 potential cities, and we picked 8 of them that embodied the spirit of the all-American plus Canadian road trip. In each city, we reached out to the Reddit and YouTube communities to find awesome locals to give us their take on their city. Everywhere we go, we'll be doing things we've never done and hanging out with complete strangers. Because as we all know, nothing bad has ever happened from meeting up with strangers from the internet.
Joining me now, the host of Riding Shotgun with Zach Anner. Zach Anner, everybody.
Hey!
Welcome.
Thanks.
How you doing?
I'm good. I have my pants off. I'm ready to go.
All right, yeah. We made a deal earlier that we'd both do this with our pants off, but I had to keep mine on. I'm sorry.
Damn it!
So, tell me, what sort of wild adventures did the internet send you on?
Well, you know, we went from Montreal to Boston to Baltimore to Blacksburg to Savannah to New Orleans. We did everything from climbing mountains to going to medical marijuana dispensaries and you know, shoving dollar bills in the G-strings of drag queens. So it was a pretty well-rounded adventure, I think.
Wow, you and I would have made good buddies like 6 years ago. Because I used to do
Were
all
you a
that stuff.
drag queen 6 years ago?
Yeah, that's
Awesome! Fantastic! I always thought so.
So tell us about you got lost in a riot in Montreal. What happened there?
Yeah, well, every time I see a riot, I'm just driven towards it, you know, and there were lots of flashing lights and people banging on pans, so I thought I could get some free cookware, and then I just kind of got lost in a city where I don't speak the language, and I didn't end up a hooker, which is, on my side, that's a victory, so...
That's always a victory, my friend.
Yep.
So how is Reddit travel experience like different than when you worked for Oprah? Like there's a different experience. How is it different?
Well, there's a lot more nudity and a lot more people trying to smoke marijuana and get me into serious trouble. Like, a lot of people wanted to get me wasted because apparently a guy in a wheelchair that's drunk is funny. But, you know, so we didn't really do that too much on the Oprah program. And, you know, but I am at the mercy of Reddit. And if they want to see me embarrass myself, that's fine.
And you said you went to some dispensaries also? How was that?
You know, there are many arguments for legalization, and I'm not sure we found any of them there. But I don't remember a damn thing, but the brownies were good.
That's good. That's good. I have a prescription because I have a bad.
I understand you've just been shot. You can pretty much get whatever drugs you want, right?
That's right. Now, what kind of crazy characters you meet up with along the way on these trips?
You know, we met up with a lot of Reddit geeks and everyone from, you know, Iraq war vets. That's who I hung out with in the drag queen club. And, you know, apparently he's taking the techniques overseas with him to Afghanistan for his, you know, infantrymen to dress up like women. So that's great. You know, and we just met people from all walks of life and just, like, complete strangers, and nobody shot us. So we're just really, really surprised and really happy about it.
I mean, this is kind of like a dream come true when you're being paid for it. I mean, that's awesome. But I hear you...
Yeah, it's amazing. Basically, I get paid to hang out with great people. And it's kind of, we have similar jobs, except, you know, you hopefully end up less naked than me most of the time.
Thank you. Like, I have a phobia of rats, and you have an irrational fear of small animals too, right?
I wouldn't call it an irrational fear of small animals. It's based in truth. You know, when I was a very small boy, my dad promised me that a duck would not bite my toe when I was barefoot, and believe it or not, that bastard bit my toe. So it's a real fear.
Yeah, I think I have a fear because my mother worked with a lady whose husband, his ear was eaten when he was a baby. I know that's bumming a lot of people out, but it really happened. Yeah.
His ear was eaten by a rat?
Yeah, his ear was gnawed off by a rat.
How does somebody not notice this?
Yeah, he was a baby. Couldn't tell.
Where did he grow up exactly?
In Mexico. Yeah, no.
Oh,
oh, that explains it. That explains. All right, Zach, last question. Do you have any travel tips for our viewers?
Yes, very important travel tips. Bring your own toilet seat everywhere. And if you are going to propose to the front desk girl at the Best Western Plus, you know, you've just got to work out your language. And apparently, I know Oprah doesn't really get you a marriage.
No, not even for herself.
No. I have no response to that I can actually say.
Thank you very much, Zach Adder. You've been awesome.
Thank you so much.
Great meeting you.
Great meeting you.
Still ahead, Halloween is a good time to get yourself nightmares. We'll give you the skinny on spooky stuff to watch, so don't go anywhere. All right?
What happens next?
Poor Vincent has been trapped by the bloodthirsty nurses of Silent Hill, and any noise he makes will set them off. So, what happens next? Is he horribly slaughtered before he can get away? Does someone come to his rescue? Or does he pick the locks on his restraints and make a break for it? Find out when we return.
What happens next?
Poor Vincent has been trapped by the bloodthirsty nurses of Silent Hill, and any noise he makes will set them off. So, what happens next? Is he horribly slaughtered before he can get away? Does someone come to his rescue? Or does he pick the locks on his restraints and make a break for it?
How can I find my dad?
Heather, help me.
Tell me where he is.
In the sanctuary, beneath the amusement park. I can help you.
Silent Hill Revelation 3D in theaters Friday.
All the news you need to know.
It's Wednesday, October 24th, and here are your top stories. Now, first up, if you have shopped at a Barnes & Noble store over the last couple of months and used your credit card at checkout, listen up. Your credit card and PIN number could be compromised. Yeah. Today, Barnes & Noble posted a notice that 63 PIN pads nationwide were tampered with to collect your card's information. Now, details as to how this happened or who was responsible are scarce, but they did say that more than 7,000 devices across the country have been inspected and removed as a precaution until everything is resolved. Now, if you're at risk, experts are saying that you should change your PIN number immediately and keep a close eye on your accounts. But remember, this is only an issue at the stores themselves. Online purchases are safe, so you can check out a complete list of affected stores at barnesandnobleinc.com. Next up, good news for PlayStation gamers. Yay! Bad news for Sony. A master key for the PS3 has leaked online. It comes from a hack group that calls themselves the Three Musketeers.
They published some pretty crucial security information about the console that lets users unlock it with just a few lines of code. Now, this makes it easier to play pirated games. Apparently, they released it after finding out a group of Chinese hackers were planning to charge a fee for it. Now, in an act of hacktivism, the Three Musketeers published the key online with a grammatically unsound message. But we'll see how long this master key works. Sony's been known to move in quickly on any attempts to hack their beloved systems. Now, finally, here is your daily dose of entertainment news. First up, it looks as though director and funny man Judd Apatow is taking a short break from movie making to try his hands at editing a magazine. What? I know, crazy. This morning, Vanity Fair announced he'll be a guest editor for the magazine's very first comedy issue. Word is it'll hit stands December 5th and include a 20-page portfolio featuring a who's who of today's comedy stars. Now, if this turns out anything like his movies, I cannot wait to see it. Next up, it looks like South by Southwest is expanding to Las Vegas. The techie, geeky, movie-based festival has always been held in Austin, Texas, and it still will be, but the organizers are now hosting an additional conference next year called South by Southwest V2V. It'll focus on entrepreneurial innovation and investments. The fun starts on August 11th, 2013. Registration is open, so act fast if you want to go. Go now! Okay. And lastly, put away your hiking boots, because Google has figured out a way for everyone to experience the Grand Canyon without ever stepping away from your computer. I know! That's right! Google Street View team is mapping the landmark with cameras called trekkers. These are 360-degree cameras strapped to the Street View team's backs and controlled by Android phones. They're hiking through the most breathtaking and treacherous areas of the canyon so we can all see its beauty from the comfort of our computers. Ah, thank you, Google. I'm Candace Bailey, and you've just been fed.
All the news you need to know.
Halloween season is movie watching season, if you ask me. Please welcome a horror culture activist and producer of the new horror musical The Devil's Carnival, Spooky Dan Walker. Now, we'll be talking about things to get you in the mood for Halloween. And today, Gray, let me ask you, is there anything scarier than Stanley Kubrick's The Shining?
My mother when I have not picked my laundry up off the floor. Sorry, Mom. But actually, The Shining is the movie that made me really upset that I lived in a place where my dad had to chop wood occasionally for our fire. Terrifying film. Still terrifying all these decades later.
Yeah, totally. Like, Dan, what do you think? What makes this movie still scary 30 years later?
You know, what's weird is everybody always talks about Stanley Kubrick as visionary, which is obvious, but it's the music. The music is so hardcore, and you can turn the movie off and just have the music playing all over the place in your house, and it would sound like a horror score, like a haunted house.
That's what you
really
play
cool.
in Intimate Moments, isn't it?
How did you know?
Yeah, and then those creepy twins.
Ugh.
Sexy? Well, I guess a little young to be sexy. A little young.
That's really creepy. If you watch it with a guy who thinks that's sexy, that's like double scary.
It's the only thing that's scarier than The Shining.
And also, I feel bad for the guy that plays the janitor, Scatman Crothers.
Oh my God! When he gets it, spoiler alert.
A little late for the spoiler now.
I mean, it was a weird time, you know. Back then, you knew the black guy was going to die first.
Absolutely.
Luckily, things have changed for the better in this country.
Have they, though, really? Have they?
Really?
Just because he's one of our president doesn't mean that he's not going to be killed in a horror film. Is that too political? Can I not?
It's a little
too edgy.
Wow. Can we talk about the Holocaust or something more uplifting? That was Halloween time.
This sounds so very dark. We're talking about fun Halloween things. All right. Before he made Super, James Gunn directed a horror film called Slither. I want to hear what you guys think about this.
I love this movie. I love movies that are like scary and dark and fun in tone the whole time through. And it's got Nathan Fillion, who can pretty much make everything fun.
Ooh, you got that right.
So that, and then seeing Michael Rooker from Walking Dead and Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer turn into this super wacky creature.
Oh, man.
Oh.
Henry
Super
Portrait of a
gory.
Serial Killer, by the way, most horrifying movie ever.
Totally. And
Because
like,
it looks like it's just some guy turned on a camcorder and killed people.
It really does.
and it's perfect casting because Michael Rooker, like, no matter how nice he's being in real life, it always seems like a total creep to me. He's just that good an actor.
I
Right?
totally agree. I've met him a bunch of times, and every time it's like, that's Henry. Even though, you know, in Slither he's awesome, but like, yeah, he's still Henry.
He's still pretty damn creepy.
That movie's
Yeah.
so cool. It really reminds me of an old David Cronenberg movie called Shivers.
Mm-hmm.
And anytime you've got chicks in the bathtub with some slug crawling up towards her hoo-ha, it's like, that's Halloween. Right?
That is Halloween.
Yeah, and if you have
Or normal
slugs
Saturday.
crawling into your hoo-ha, you should probably go see a doctor. Crawling in or out, really. Now, you guys want to talk about American Horror Story?
Yes!
It's back on FX, and this is made by the same guy that makes Glee, right?
It is.
Both
which is
equally
odd.
terrifying.
Yeah.
Very
Right?
true, very true.
Yeah. I'm so excited for this season, especially because they're doing something really unprecedented,
Which is?
where they're going a completely different storyline / direction. Like, Jessica Lange all of a sudden is no longer the creepy next-door neighbor. She's creepy nun that runs a mental asylum.
And she's really creepy.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
I wonder if she's as scary as like Michael Rooker in real life. Like if you would see her and be like, scary Jessica Lange, not the one from King Kong, but the American Horror Scare.
Oh man, and James Cromwell is playing this evil doctor, and he totally reminds me of an old gynecologist I had on my HMO once. Like, really, just like, I don't know why this segment
Again,
is so
sexy.
hoo-ha
All right.
obsessed, but whoops. That's Halloween to me, you guys.
It is. It is.
The creepy old gynecologist always scares everyone. I like to have creepy young proctologists. Boy, oh
They're
boy.
everywhere.
Dan, you just produced a short called The Devil's Carnival. Tell us about it.
It's a horror musical, and it's actually available. It came out yesterday, so it's really, really cool. We have a big fan base with the movie that the director and co-writer Terrence Studic had done before called Repo: The Genetic Opera. Sort of Rocky Horror-ish in following. And
Paris
so-
Hilton sings.
Paris Hilton sings, and she's good.
Yeah.
And so this was sort of the follow-up to that, since Repo wasn't really a sequel to Repo wasn't happening. So this is exactly what it is, and the
It's
devil's
available
singing.
today?
On Netflix, Hulu, at Hot Topic exclusively, and on our website, devilscarnival.com.
Fantastic.
Nice. That's up.
Thank you so much, Great Drake and Spooky Dan, for helping us find out what to watch. And stay tuned for...
Are you burnt out on Diablo 3? Well, don't toss out your adventuring gear just yet, because the underworld awaits with Torchlight 2. In this dungeon-crawling RPG, you're an adventurer who must cut across the land to stop the evil alchemist who has been corrupted and is destroying the world. Choose between one of 4 classes: the gunslinging Outlander, the spellcasting Ember Mage, the blade-tastic Berserker, or the robot-controlling Engineer, each with their own skill trees and abilities. As you defeat monsters, you'll snag gold, loot, and experience, which will help